All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Unit Evil Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it's boxing related, so that's right, you're on the Hardcore and Filthy Casual show. I'm by myself. Normally I'd be with Ola to review this, but I figured because it's a quick 10-minute video, let me do it quickly without disturbing Ola if he's about for you guys. So just one more warning to all my Arsenal subscribers. This is a boxing video. It's commenting on the fight that I've just watched. And I've got to be honest, it was a better fight than I thought it was going to be. I was a bit skeptical about ordering the thing in the first place. But I decided, fuck it, why not? Just order it. Let's see what happens. I think the card largely was pretty good. There's some entertaining fights. There were there was a dud of a fight as well. But all in all, it was a good card, but it was a really intriguing fight. All logic dictated before the fight, and I think I said this on the show, on a preview show with Ola last week, that to me, I didn't see anything other than Usyk winning. I think the guy is just too skilled, and what he showed today was he also has a bit of power to him as well. Weirdly, though, this fight has made me more confident that if AJ was to take Usyk on, I think he may beat him. I do think he has a style that's really awkward for AJ, but he does present people opportunities. And I think if he presents AJ opportunities, he'll get finished. But anyway, I digress. Let's talk about the fight. The fight itself was, you could tell Tony Bellew was pumped up for this fight. I said it ahead of time to a few people that I didn't really feel like Bellew believed he could win. I thought ahead of the David Haye fights, he definitely had that kind of air that he knew he could win those fights. But with this fight, I don't know, he almost felt like lip service, like he was going through the motions, like he knew the mammoth task ahead of him. And he didn't really believe he could win, but he would give it everything. Knowing that it was his last fight, he would be able to put it all on the line. Coming into the fight, you know, I think most people knew deep down this was Usyk's fight to lose, but everybody's heart was with Bellew. It's his last fight. He's been such an amazing character for boxing, and I think most people were kind of hoping that Bellew would be able to drag himself through this fight. And I thought his tactics at the start of the fight were excellent. They were excellent. He was clearly looking for Usyk's lead in the fight, almost accepted that Usyk was going to hold the center of the ring, and was trying to look for his lead to counter. Lots of high energy stuff from Bellew, lots of side-to-side lateral movement, and that really baffled Usyk. The straight right hand down the gullet was working a lot. I think a lot of people kind of assumed that Bellew would use a looping right hand to force Usyk onto his. Everyone knows who's been watching Bellew knows Bellew has a devastating left hand. So I think most people thought he would try and like feint with his right and use that devastating left to Usyk. But he wasn't able to really fully get Usyk onto his left hand, and it was pretty obvious by the way Usyk was moving. He was very wary of Tony's power on his left hand side. So he kept moving towards Tony's right-hand side. But in doing that, he kept leaving himself open to that straight right hand down the middle. And it was working. It was working for the first 5 rounds, I would say it was working. It was an interesting part, actually, in I think it was round 5, where, you know, sometimes listening to these fights on English commentary, I always advise against it. Because if you want to score a fight fairly, just mute the TV, because it can be influential. But I love it when Paulie's on there, because when Paulie Malignaggi's on there, you don't let them get away with that shit. So there was a round 5 moment where round 5, it probably was given to Usyk, right? It should have been given to Usyk. But Adam and Carl Frost were gassing it up, saying that, oh, you know, Bellew definitely won that round. Paulie Malignaggi was like, come on. Come on, guys. Let's be real here. You know, yes, Bellew had some success in that round, but that was a Usyk round. which I found to be a hilarious little moment. But anyway, to me, it kind of played out after that how I thought it would play out. The problem with Tony Bellew's tactics is it was a high energy set sort of tactics. He needed to stay on his toes and keep moving and stay alert, which he didn't do. It was a very high pace, high intensity set of tactics that he used. It was the correct tactics, but it was just, you know, it felt like a younger guy could pull that off. Fury could pull that off, but I'm not sure Bellew could pull that off. So yeah, it was difficult for him. And then I think he just started to get tired. Truth be told, I think he just started to get tired. He said that he tried to go for it, but to be honest with you, it came to the point where his pot shotting weren't working anymore, and he needed to try something different, and he was getting physically tired. And then it kind of, round 7 was a pretty brutal round for him. And then it entered round 8, and I thought, oh gosh, this is not looking good. And it was a matter of time, and unfortunately, one devastating left hand later, my man was out, landed hard on that canvas as well. But you know, fair play to him. I thought he gave it his all. He gave it his best shot. He really did. He gave it his best shot, and he was winning the fights according to the judges. And I thought some of the judges' scores were a bit mad, but one of the judges gave it to him he was winning by 3 rounds up until that point. One of them gave it to him by 1 round up until that point, and the other had it even. I'm not sure I had it like that. I think at best it was even. I don't see how Bellew was winning even up until that point. But he gave it a good effort. He really did. Just the class of Usyk just told in the end, and unfortunately, Bellew was knocked out. And it seems like that's Bellew's last fight. And I've gone from hating that guy to liking that guy. He really has had an Indian summer, so to speak, to his career. And I've really enjoyed the journey that it's been on, particularly in the latter half of his career. I wish him all the best. He's a world champion. He's achieved a lot in his career, and he won the world championship in the Everton Stadium. It's like me as an Arsenal fan winning a world title in the Emirates. It'd be like a dream come true. So I don't knock him. Well done to him. He's achieved a lot in his career. And off into the sunset he goes. And I guess now the question turns to what happens next to Usyk, which would be interesting for you boxing fans that are watching this. Who would you like Usyk to fight next? Do you think AJ is a bit of a fight too soon? Would you like to see him against someone like White? I'll be honest, I love Dillian White. I hate that fight for him. To be honest, I like AJ. I hate that fight for him. Even though I do think Usyk will present AJ an opportunity that AJ may take, but I think it's a high-risk fight for AJ with not much reward, to be honest. But I think for Usyk, he should be targeting them sort of fights. He should be targeting. You know, I would like to see Usyk against someone like Parker. I think that'd be a good test for him, I think. But let's see what happens. Anyway, guys, you let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, crush, destroy, drop kick the shit out of that like button. I appreciate it every time you guys do that. I'll be back tomorrow to review the Arsenal-Wolves game. I know we're kicking off at 4:30. Is me spouting off that Lee and people like that will be on the show. They'll probably go into the game. But I will find a couple of people to jump on the show nevertheless. And then we'll do a review. So I know you guys like the show as well, where people are on. So stay tuned for that. All right, people, I'm out of here. Take care.